Another glorious day on the Central Coast, another glorious day to live the run. I'm your host, Rex Stevens, alongside Olympian Paul Tarek. Paul Tarek, 2 weeks in a row. Are we going to be able to make it 3, you in studio?
It's looking good. You know, it's like a weather forecaster. I'm not going to promise anything, but it looks good. The sun is on the horizon.
If you're following us for the first time, Living the Run show that we talk everything health and fitness. We try to add something to you, something you can take away from each and every show. Maybe it's an aspect of nutrition. Maybe it's an aspect of exercise. Maybe it's an aspect of changing some of that mental outlook on things. But a thing to improve your performance, improve your life, improve longevity. Always looking at that. CJ Silas show comes on after us tonight here on ESPN 1280, The Ticket. She comes on from 7 to 8, celebrating her first anniversary of coming back to ESPN, coming in on the CJ Silas show. That means we've been here now, Paul, over 2 years doing Living the Run, going strong, promoting health and fitness on the Central Coast.
This is the second longest relationship I've ever had, Rex. It's great.
It's big time stuff. Let me lay the show out for you. Great show tonight. As all of you know, we've been talking SLO Marathon. It's happening this weekend, second annual SLO Marathon. Big events happening. Friday, people picking up their packets. Saturday, all day long. Motivational speaking, Dean Karnazes, who's going to be joining us at 6:45 on tonight's show. Ultramarathon man will be talking at the booths on Saturday. I know there's a 5K run as well. I know of a lady that I see actually in the clinic. Great story. Woman who lost her leg and is competing at an Ironman level now. Some great motivational stuff happening on Saturday. And then, of course, on Sunday, the big runs, the half marathon, the marathon, starting at 6 a.m., big kickoff. So big topic for us for sure. But we got Dean Karnazes at 6:45 at the end of the show. We're going Van McCarty, last year's winner, male winner of the SLO Marathon, struggling with an injury right now, but Van's going to come in. We're going to talk to him a little bit about looking at the course the second time, what he expects, what's the competition coming in for this race as well. We'll also check in with Ryan Joyner early on in the show. Ryan talked a lot last week. We talked a little bit about those single leg squats, gaining that stability through the pelvis. A lot of people with low back pain, a lot of people with hip pain, knee pain, etc., trying to be able to rehab that. So Ryan from Athlon Elite will be joining us too. So big show tonight, Paul.
Yeah, every week you find somebody that makes me feel worse and worse for not getting out there and running. I mean, you have somebody who's lost a leg doing an Ironman, and it's just you're gonna shame me into working out tonight, aren't you? Like 10:30, I'm gonna have to go out and get something in.
Yeah, I hope we can get Karen on the show maybe next week. The other thing, Paul, over 60 years old. Over 60 years old. She's just absolutely stunning as an athlete. Great mental focus. Done some good things. Paul, you're always invited to come out with Rando and us, and now we got another guy, former college football player at Cal Poly, Brandon Shepard, running back for them for 4 years, 4-year starter, I think 2001 to 2005. He's coming out with us too on the track at Cal Poly Mondays and Wednesdays around 1 o'clock. We'd love to see your mug out there with us as well.
You know what? I will actually come in and join you this next Monday, Wednesday. I will actually come and join you.
Be fantastic. Good stuff out there. Rando lately has been up in the ante. He's been going to 1,200 repeats, which is kind of interesting. I hit the 800 repeats today. We're going to start throwing in some of the pull-ups, the push-ups, some of this diversity type stuff, bringing in some of the CrossFit type mentality, but kind of toning it down a little bit, not the Olympic weightlifting so much, and just trying to bring diversity and challenge one another out there.
How was Rando transferred or transitioned, from elite athlete extraordinaire to, weekend warrior father figure? That was a really hard transition for me.
Yeah, no question about it. I think it brings up a big topic, and I'm excited about the topics to come here, come end of April, come into May, into June. We're going to hit some topics like sleep. Sleep is a big one, Paul, when you start talking about being a dad, having a family and so forth, and now trying to get those little bits of shut-eye when you can, but not getting those long bouts like you used to that were very restorative for not only the mind, but also the tissues themselves, for breaking down inflammation, minimizing inflammation, if you will. So it's a tough transition for any parent going through there, and especially someone who was an elite athlete at one time.
Going back to it, we talk about these inspirational people that we get on the show, and they're doing incredible things. And, the general person, the general public doesn't need to go out and think about doing those things and doing something incredible. They can if they want to. I think the big thing that people need to take away from the show is just get out there, be active, lead an active lifestyle. I ran into a couple guys today, softball players, SLO natives, dads themselves still get out there. They have a good time. I'm sure that fitness isn't probably their number one goal out there. It's probably just hanging out with their buddies and enjoying it, but they're doing something active. And I think, there's a lot of tips and takeaways from the show that you can, pick up and put that towards your daily life. Try to avoid injury, continue doing what you're doing, having fun.
Hey, and you kind of hit it right on the head there, too, is to get back to our goals. And we got to be thankful for all our sponsors that we've had just thus far. And we're always out there looking for people to sponsor. And understand this, Samantha Pruitt was on the show, race director for the SLO Marathon, and she kind of joked in one of the breaks that she says, can you believe these guys sit in here and get paid to babble and just kind of rap on the radio? And that's not actually what we do. Our goal here is to raise level of awareness for health and fitness, but actually what we're trying to do is we're talking about giving back to the community, living the run, and trying to get sponsors to come in, not like traditional radio sponsorship, but an effort to be able to sponsor other athletes, people that are trying to get to races that may have financial issues. Or you talked about the Atascadero track meets. Those things actually have a cost. We're trying to make the cost minimal for the kids to get out there and be able to go long jump or throw the turbo jab or something super fun like that. Get them outside, get families outside. And we'd love to continue to bring in sponsors that want to get into the community in that way, be able to sponsor some of these athletes that just they don't have as much. They don't have the privileges that others do out there or the resources to be able to compete sometimes at those highest levels. So I'm thankful to be on Living the Run for that, and always looking for people to contribute to us in that way.
Yeah, that Atascadero All-Comers meet is probably one of the greatest family atmospheres you can go to around here. You can stay active, your kids can get out there, you can get out there. There's no age limit on things. They're always willing to work with the athletes. It's been going, I want to say it's been going for 12, 15 years now. It's been a long time. And, to get people to go to that and to maybe get some sponsorships to help that meet grow would be great.
Oh, yeah. Your coach, Harry Mayer, super involved in that. Now a coach of Ashton Eaton, world record holder in the decathlon. These are great events. And for those people that haven't done it and haven't been there, they need to get out there. And what a great family event. We went out every time, all four of us, husbands, wives, little ones, older ones. Everyone can participate, and you rarely see anybody not having a ton of fun.
The little kids race is one of the most exciting. I mean, I've been all over the world. I've seen a lot of races. There is nothing greater than the 2-year-old race that when you can walk, they got a race for you, and those kids are so excited to run that race. I've never seen that. It's great.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we've talked about a lot on this show is having joy in what you're doing and having a lot of fun. And so great events, but there's a lot of people looking to have a lot of fun this weekend. SLO Marathon again. If you're not involved, get involved. Come out to downtown. I know downtown was kind of tough last year because, of course, they block off a lot of the streets. But if you could get up, you could walk, take a walk in the morning, stroll, get downtown and support. Get out on Johnson Street, get out on Orchid, Tank Farm. A lot of spots to be, not just Madonna where the tents are going to be, but a lot of spots along the way. Encourage people. It's amazing what that'll do to somebody's physicality as they're starting to feel a little suffering out on the course.
Or heckle. Some people, maybe you don't want to cheer them on. Maybe you want to go heckle. Like I said, make up the sign that says, hey, only 15 more miles to go, whatever. As long as you're out there, like you said, people enjoy while you're running. They enjoy the inspiration regardless of, as long as the heckling is controlled.
Hey, talk about real quick, Paul, was supposed to hand this shirt over to you during the show. Billy Smith, VS Athletics, dropped that by. Beautiful, beautiful shirt. And again, this should just go to, hopefully maybe we can do a little zoom in on this. Again, if you miss any part of the show, you can always catch this thing on livingtherun.com or Facebook/livingtherun. But we podcast these things on YouTube. We're going to get a close-up on Paul Terrick's shirt. What is this shirt all about? How'd the design come into play?
Oh man, it goes a long way back. So Billy, I've known Billy for a long time. We got to talking the other day, and he says, "I'm gonna use. We got I think they have 8 or 10 guys going down. They have a bunch of guys going down to the
today. Actually, I saw a couple of them in the clinic.
Arcadia Decathlon. So they're gonna go down to that and compete. And taking so many guys from the area, he said, why just wear something that's already out there? Why wear something that's just blah? So he took the design that I have myself and my old training partner have for our tattoo. He took that design and he had it imprinted on a shirt, as the material, and then he's got a cool graphic. It's got all the events of the 10 events of a decathlon in order. 100, for those of you that don't know, 100 long jump, shot put, high jump, 400 on day one. And then if you're lucky enough to wake up for day two, 110 hurdles, discus, pole vault, jav, and 1500. He's embossed that on the shirt, imprinted on the shirt, made it look sweet. Got the word decathlon down the back. And I think I'm going to have about 12 of these, and this is going to be my only outfit that I wear. This is it.
I like that. Lucky enough to make it to day two. Yeah, unbelievable. It's a great sign over there. Coach Gomes over at San Luis High is doing some really great things. He's got a bunch of multi-athletes now. And
that's the way to go. In high school, that's so many people get specialized. And the problem with specialization is you only develop one set of muscles in one way. You start exposing these high school kids to all the different events, they're going to have a better chance at finding something that that they may not know they're good at until they do it a few times, and then they really like it and they excel at it. Plus, it makes you just a well-rounded athlete. I mean, how many people in high school go, you know what? I want to run track and field for the glory of track and field. No, everybody does it to stay in shape for football or stay in shape for basketball or to meet girls. Those are the only reasons. So if you introduce them to all these other events, it just opens their eyes to a whole new world.
Good kids, too. Props to Dylan Smith. Saw him today, Billy's son. Connor Hall, monster athlete. Kids going to Duke next year. Doing great in the decathlon. Again, Coach Gomes, slow high, do well down at Arcadia, but good guys. Hey, let's switch over. Usually we get Ryan Joyner, Athlon Elite, at the end of the hour, but we're going to catch Ryan here at the beginning of the hour because, again, we've got Dean Karnazes coming on at 6:45 later in the show. Ryan, last week I loved the conversation. We talked single leg squats. We talked balance, symmetry through the pelvis, through the lower back. This weekend we got the big race is finally here, second annual. How's it going over there at Athlon Elite?
Yeah, it's going great. Good to talk to you guys again. We're about 85% of the way through our remodel, massive, completely change of the facility, and so it's been pretty hectic, but at the same time a lot of fun because we've already got out the new equipment and new facility and more open space, running space. We have a turf area now. We're doing some running and running drills and all that good stuff, which is perfect for a marathoner.
What were the big things there, Ryan, that you guys were trying to improve upon that you felt were weaknesses at Athlon Elite there?
Well, the big thing that and I've talked about it a couple times calling into the show, is, ultimately my belief in lifelong athletic development. I don't care if you're 90 years old, you can improve as an athlete and still be an athlete. Obviously, again, there's different levels that you're going to be, different intensities that you're going to be operating at, but we wanted to have some more space and just be able to really utilize the facility for more athletic development. And that's still through fitness. We're still a gym. We're still a fitness gym, and we're getting people to look good on the beach. But as our motto is form follows function. If I can get you to function better, you're going to look better. There's no doubt about it. That's how the human body is built. So that's really what we've been doing is improving that ability, and especially with getting some open area and some turf areas to do running mechanics. That's a big passion of mine is running mechanics and athletic running mechanics. So, footwork, quickness, reaction drills, that kind of stuff, which is a lot of fun. And I guess on that note, in thinking about the marathon coming up, here's Ryan. He's going to be talking about strength training again. What do they say? To the hammer, everything's a nail. I do a lot of strength training. I believe in it, and from the point of powerlifting all the way to the point of, again, doing a lot of metabolic type strength training where it's high reps and high volume for a lot of repetition. But nevertheless, it's all about strengthening. And if you want to talk about why strengthen, even as a marathoner, let's look at last year's winner. He finished in 2 hours. What was it? 2 hours and 38 minutes.
Yeah, 2:38, I think.
Fast.
Smoking fast.
So that's averages at 10 miles an hour. So he ran for 26 miles, 10 miles per hour. Our treadmills go up to 10 miles an hour. That's a sprint for most people. And the thing we want to think about in terms of forces, the forces on the body that's going to entail, walking is at times, again, depending on the person and the gait cycle, you can see up to 2 times their body weight in ground reaction forces. So when the heel hits the ground, they're seeing double their weight pushing back at them. take that up to a fast walk, and you could be talking 2 to 3 times. Take it up to a jog and a run, you're looking at 4 times your body weight on one leg landing on the ground. At 10 miles an hour, he was experiencing 5 times his body weight. So he was doing a 600-pound single-leg squat every step for 26 miles, is what you can say.
Hey, I love it when you put it into a perspective like that. You start to see why, if the mechanics get off at all, symmetry gets off at all, tendons start to take stress, muscle bellies start to take stress, and we start to run into injury.
Yes. Yeah, running is such a strength-oriented activity, but it's, of course, it's endurance dominant. But you still got to have a pretty good base level of strength, and, of course, as you say, mechanics, symmetry, all the things need to be important. Spine alignment, all that kind of stuff is key if you're going to be increasing the volume of that kind of running, especially trying to do a marathon. And so, where we come in is again, strength training, making sure that base level of strength is in place, that the person can actually strength train and hold their body weight on one leg, doing those single leg squats, doing the rear foot elevated split squats, and of course even heavy squats at times. But of course, I always tell people, come see us in the off season. When you're in season, you got to hit the road and run, but you're going to do the work for your strength based development in the off season. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of forces coming into the body, and strength is really key for a runner. Gravity is relentless, and it never has a bad day. So you better bring your A game every time you go out.
Hey, awesome as usual, Ryan. Look forward to seeing the new facility. Keep up the great work, and thanks for that stuff tonight. I mean, great stuff when you start to talk and you start to put those numbers out there for people. You start to really understand the compression, the forces, et cetera, that come along with exercise. So always nice to have coaches like you out there.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All
Good
right.
talking to you guys.
Hey, go ahead, Paul.
Well, one of the things he talked about that I'm a huge proponent is running mechanics. Just form running drills. I think a lot of people overlook them and just do them kind of half effort just to get through them and get started on their run. But there's a whole hidden workout in running mechanic drills. A lot of people say, "Oh, how do I get my abs looking better? How do I get my abs looking better?" Really, some good running mechanic drills can be your only ab workout for the day, and your abs will be worked harder than doing just an ab workout.
Yeah, no question. Let's expand on that in just a minute. Got to take a break now. When we return, we will hopefully get Van McCarty in studio here. Again, last year's winner, SLO Marathon, and then stick with us, Dean Karnazes at about 6:45 tonight. Dean Karnazes, 6:45, Ultramarathon man. Stick with us.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
My name is Chris Randolph, and as a local track and field Olympic hopeful, I've been seeing Brian Quigley at SLO Wellness Center to help me with injury recovery during my season. Brian has not only helped me with some very extensive injuries, but has also educated me on the specifics of how my body moves when I compete. His knowledge and touch has helped me achieve personal bests in my competition and has also helped me in injury prevention. Becoming a wellness patient of his has helped me stop my injuries before they start, making time spent recovering shorter, leaving more time spent training for my goals. From injury prevention to wellness, Brian understands the patient and holistically helps them achieve their personal health-related goals. So check out Brian Quigley at peakperformanceslo.com and find him on Facebook and comment a response to this ad and get a complimentary 60-minute massage.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
Tired of taking supplements when you have no idea if they're working or not? Frustrated by not feeling or seeing measurable results with your vitamins? Looking for a new job or a little extra spending money? Do you know anyone with headaches, chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmune disease, or any other malady they just can't shake? Come learn about a breakthrough product that is scientifically supported, plant-based, and is used daily all over the world to combat age-related disease. Learn how this product is the only one of its kind on the publicly traded market to address the fundamental causes of accelerated aging, otherwise known as oxidative stress. If you want to learn how to reduce inflammation, save money by eliminating 90% of your supplement regime, and provide residual income for your family, call 805-234-7816. No gimmicks, just hardcore science on free radicals, antioxidants, and oxidative stress finally being revealed accurately and honestly. Call today to find out more. That's 805-234-7816.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back to Living the Run. Again, if you're joining us for the first time, you can always find podcasts, YouTube video. Check out Paul's new shirt.
I love this shirt.
Check out the new jersey. Slow High's using that jersey down at Arcadia these next 2 days for their multi-athletes, heptathletes and decathletes. But again, you can always look us up on livingtherun.com or Facebook/livingtherun. And again, remember, stay tuned. CJ Silas show coming up at 7 o'clock here on ESPN 1280. Anniversary show for them. And I don't know why I can't think of there it is. The new show. The new show. For some reason, it sounds so much like multiple other shows, so I keep getting different words put together. But here it is, 10 o'clock till midnight. 10 o'clock till midnight on Wednesday night, the Slow Late Show, joining ESPN 1280. Good stuff, Paul. You're going to be up to listen?
I got a 2-year-old. I haven't seen 10 o'clock. I haven't seen 10 o'clock except for night shifts. That's it, man. During the week, yeah.
Hey, that's that whole rest thing that we were talking about. Again, stay tuned with us. We got Dean Karnazes coming on 6:45, Ultramarathon man, Cal Poly graduate, tremendous athlete when it comes to just taking things to the brink. Paul, pushing the limit, almost beyond limits. It sometimes doesn't even seem imaginable what he's doing, but great celebrity bring down for this slow marathon this weekend. It's going to be good stuff.
You know, the one thing I wanted to ask him that I never asked him before was when he left on that first run. You know, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's ridiculous to think when he tells the story. It's like you listen and you're like, well, that's just ridiculous. Why would you do that? Did he actually think he was going to make it there? You know what I'm saying? Like there's times you start something, you're like, there's no way, but I'm going to do this, but there's that doubt in your mind. Or was he, did he surprise himself? Was it something where he was like, he got there and he was like, wait, I really just did that. Maybe I could do more of this.
Well, I think he was, wasn't he a bit inebriated? I mean, he was.
Yeah.
I don't think there wasn't really a goal of going San Francisco to Half Moon Bay or the 30 miles.
I thought that's what it was. I thought it was I'm running to here.
Oh, I thought it was just I'm going to start running and see where I end up.
No, that was Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump that you're thinking about. No. I think Karnazes was. I think he was like, because I think it was. I didn't have a ride or whatever, and I'm going to run there. No big deal. I'm just going to run over there.
Well, you hit on a good thing there, Paul. I mean, one of the things I was talking to somebody about today is when you go out oftentimes by yourself, and I'm self-motivated. I have no problem getting out there, getting a workout in. I'm not going to miss workouts because somebody else cancels on me. But the reality is that when you do work out with someone else, especially someone who is faster than you, potentially stronger than you, it pushes you. And it's so interesting, that concept of you feel like you're working not as hard, yet your results are much better. I mean, when I run with Rando, I run 5 to 10 seconds faster in my 400 when we run 800 meters, 1,200 meters, what have you, 5 to 10 seconds faster per 400, but I feel less fatigued. It's incredible, the synergy of being with another athlete, especially somebody who can encourage you and who's been at a higher level than you.
Well, I think the big thing about that is that when you're out there with them, you're not focused on every single step. It's like when you're sitting alone in the dark, you hear every single noise. You're out there with somebody else. You're kind of watching their form, kind of keeping pace with them, maybe keeping stride with them. Focus more on keeping a distance, so you don't fall off pace, as opposed to thinking, keep running faster, keep doing this. How much longer? I am notorious for that. Like when I'm on my own, how much longer? I'm looking at the watch, like, instead of swinging my arms like most normal runners do, I'm swinging my arm up just to look at my watch on every stride. Like, 8 more seconds, 4 more seconds.
Yeah, it's interesting too. this show is so interesting because you look at these aspects of health and fitness, and so much of it is mental. And you think about this guy, this kind of nightmare of a coach that went bad in Rutgers, and a lot of his stuff was negative. But the thing I took from it is that how many of us have negative self-defeating talk when we go out to exercise? You get out there and you start to think about the suffering. You think about some of the pain. You think about, gosh, I'm just kind of slow today, or I feel weak, or my energy isn't good. And we start to kind of beat ourselves up very easily. It seems not to happen when you can get a partner. And that's why I encourage so many people, hey, yes, we want you to get off the couch. Yes, we want you to take that step, get active, but try to find somebody to get active with. Maybe they're not going to be there every single day, but getting 2 or 3 times in a week is going to help you in your other workouts 2 or 3 times that week, and you're going to be able to keep some momentum going.
Well, and I think it's like a double-edged sword on that one. They're helping you, but while they're helping you, you're helping them as well. They're not going to be the number one guy every day. There's days that they're not going to want to be there. There's days that they're not going to be mentally in the workout. But the fact that you're there mentally in the workout will get them up to speed. You definitely feed off each other. There was a huge difference between having a training partner and not having a training partner for me.
Are you trying to give me hope that there's one day possibly that I could beat Rando on the track?
Well, and I think there's a good thing to have about optimism, but then there's also realism. So let's say optimism. Now, is Rando healthy, or did he lose a leg? Does he have a broken foot? I mean, there's
an injured Rando is probably the only way I pass him up, but I hear what you're saying. It's especially in your world where the difference between an 8,500 score on one day to an 8,200 or a sub 8,000 could have just been a couple little things here or there, and a guy that high jumps 6'5" one day barely clears 6 foot the next, or misses on the pole vault or what have you. So you're right, kind of fluctuates up and down, and that's good mentally and physically for both.
Yeah. I still think, as much as I'd love to think that you could beat Rando on the track one day, I think you're just going to have to pick a very long distance and just wear him down mentally.
Hey, let's take a quick break. Van McCarty just walked into studio. We're going to kind of get Van up to speed here, get him on. Again, Van McCarty, last year's SLO Marathon winner. We're going to talk about this year's course, defending the title, and who's on deck to try to strip the title. Stick with us. Van McCarty next here on Living the Run.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Tired of taking supplements when you have no idea if they're working or not? Frustrated by not feeling or seeing measurable results with your vitamins? Looking for a new job or a little extra spending money? Do you know anyone with headaches, chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmune disease, or any other malady they just can't shake? Come learn about a breakthrough product that is scientifically supported, plant-based, and is used daily all over the world to combat age-related disease. Learn how this product is the only one of its kind on the publicly traded market to address the fundamental causes of accelerated aging, otherwise known as oxidative stress. If you want to learn how to reduce inflammation, save money by eliminating 90% of your supplement regime, and provide residual income for your family, call 805-234-7816. No gimmicks, just hardcore science on free radicals, antioxidants, and oxidative stress finally being revealed accurately and honestly. Call today to find out more. That's 805-234-7816.
The ultimate choice for sports massage in SLO County? Peak Performance. Conveniently located at SLO Wellness Center just blocks from Cal Poly is ready to assist you to reach your personal best. Calling all athletes and fitness enthusiasts. If you're ready to start alleviating symptoms by addressing the true problems, if you are seeking efficient and effective body work, then you can count on Peak Performance. Nagging injury, losing the bounce in your step, pain or tightness keeping you from training hard and reaching your goals? Raise your standards, raise your expectations. Call Peak Performance 543-8688.
Folks, when it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go. Go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff puts your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get 'em in, get 'em out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back to Living the Run. Great show. Great start to the show. We're excited about SLO Marathon coming up again Sunday, April 7th. But big weekend. Right now, lucky to be in studio. Had you last year. Last year's champion, male champion in the SLO Marathon, first marathon, 2:38, I think was the time. Yeah. Van McCarty in studio. Van, yes. Struggling with an injury. Talk to us about what you've been dealing with, and are you going to be ready for Sunday?
Yeah, that's still an up-in-the-air question right now. Everything the past several months had been training been spot on. I was running really well, better than last year. So I was really excited for the race. I was all prepped, and then a week and a half ago, I started my taper, and I was just coming back from a run and felt the hamstring just get really tight, and I tried to stretch it, and then it was just got to the point where I could barely even jog on it. And so I've been just trying to get it worked on, trying to get it squared away. And if it wasn't a marathon, 26 miles is a long way to go. So we're going to kind of be day by day for now.
Hey, so, going into this competition the second year, I know that the competition is heated up a little bit. It's now Boston qualifier here in San Luis Obispo. Wasn't last year. It's on the map for the second time. About twice as many participants coming in this year. What's the field look like? I know, last year people don't understand this. You ran fast, but the reality was it was a tough run because you were out in front, nobody around really for a lot of the race. Difficult to do when there's nobody to challenge. What were you expecting this year from the competition and how this race was going to play out as opposed to last year?
Well, I would have expected this year to be more competitive just from the larger number of participants in the field. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a list or a roster of who some of the faster runners might be. So without knowing any names, I personally have not heard of or seen anybody who is like a super fast runner. There are definitely some in the area. I'm just not aware of them if they're racing or not this weekend. But even with competition, that 2:38:35 that I ran last year, for me, if things were perfect, I could maybe knock a minute off of it, but not much more than that. So that's kind of my capabilities. So there's some guys down here. I mean, Jamie Moore down in Arroyo Grande, who's super fast. He ran a sub 2:20 in Portland several months ago. So I haven't heard if he's going to come do this one. He's a really fast runner. And there's local guys I've heard talk at Sergio Reyes might come up and do it, who's run at 2:15 at the trial. So there's people who could show up that are just going to blow the field away.
Well, I think the one thing you're going to see now that it's a Boston qualifier and you're going to get more, I don't want to say professional, but possibly professional, you're going to get that lead pack that breaks away, that you see at most marathons where there's, the gun's going to go off and they're going to set the pace early and it's probably going to be quick,
Yeah, no question. I mean, a little bit different maybe than last year. Talk about, again, this course. For people who don't understand the perspective of you as a runner, because you're also an Ironman triathlete, qualified this year for Kona, which is a little bit different because a lot of these people that are running these 2:15s, 2:10s, these times, they're runners only. But you are literally one of the fastest, again, talking to Van McCarty, one of the fastest marathoners of the Ironman. Last year in Wisconsin, what'd you take? You took third place in just the marathon portion, right. And you're among all professionals. Hey, you're a working guy. You work you get the 8 to 5 job, yet you're coming in running really fast. Talk about this course in comparison to some of the other courses and why the times might be a little bit slower here.
Well, San Luis Marathon, definitely, they've done a great job with the course. It is more challenging than most marathon courses, especially now this is a Boston qualifier. You have that carrot for a lot of people that are looking to qualify for Boston. And the San Luis course, it's definitely a good course to qualify on, but it is more challenging. It's very little flat roads, so people that are looking who are just going to say, I'm going to run a 7-minute mile because that's my qualifying time and be done with it, their times are going to fluctuate substantially on those rollers. Even for me, when I go out and was doing my training, on the flatter sections out and back, I was running maybe 5:45, 5:50 miles, and then on the rollers down to like a 6:15. So you can't expect to run a steady pace. So that's, if you're not prepared for it, that's going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, if people haven't been out on these hills, and we have the fortunate ability to train on these hills, but things get rolling pretty rapidly, and if that's not your training style, what it is. Hey, I wanted to ask you this, Van. We talked last week about debunking the myth on this 800-meter runs. I've read all over the place that if you can run 800 meters, whatever you run that at should transfer over close to your marathon time. Again, for the listeners, if you run a 3-minute 800 meter, should transfer over close to a 3-hour marathon. If you run a 3:30 marathon, 4-minute, 4-hour marathon, and so it goes and so it goes. I'm calling bunk on that. We went out there, a former decathlete like Paul and myself went out there, not even close. We could run the 800 meters way faster, 800s, than we could ever put on a marathon. How does it go for a professional Ironman triathlete? How does it go for a professional marathoner?
That's interesting because that is a very, very popular and common workout for marathoners to do. It's what Bart Yasso, I believe, is the one who came up with it. He said if you run these 800s, 8 to 10 of them with a moderate rest in between, that should transfer close. And to me, honestly, it makes no sense at all.
I like it, Paul. I'm right on.
It makes no sense to me. However, from my training, it has transferred over relatively close. I would usually, if I was doing those workouts, I would take a more abbreviated rest, so I didn't take as long of a rest as they would recommend. But I would hit my 800s at around 2:37, 2:39, which is about what I'm running, marathons at. So for me, it transferred over relatively quickly, or relatively straightforward. The concept behind it and the logic, it's like pulling things something out of the air. I have no idea how he came up with that.
Here's the thing, though, and I think, I don't know, again, I don't have the formula to how he came up with it. I would think he maybe trial and errored it with some people who are training for marathons. Rex, the longest run you've been doing when you tried this, what do you think?
Longest run, 10 miles.
Maybe how long?
Yeah.
How often? Once
every couple weeks.
Yeah. At the time that it transferred over for you, man, how longest run you've been doing?
25.
How often?
Miles, once a week.
So I think the thing is he's got the mileage in, and all that's going to tell you, all the 800-meter time trial, we'll call it, is going to tell you is that you have the capability to carry that foot speed for a certain time, and that should transfer over, provided that you're doing the rest of the marathon workouts. You can't just train for the 800 and go, look at that, I'm running 2:10 800s. This is terrific. I ran a 2:10. It doesn't work like that.
Well, no question. But I mean, again, I was just trying to get an idea of pace and an idea of time, not being an elite runner by any stretch. And it just doesn't work. It's just not even close for me, But I wondered from an elite runner what that looked like. Well, Dean Karnazes is coming to support this. The whole ultra thing. Have you ever dabbled in the ultra thing, Van? Is it something that you think about once you kind of finish maybe the Ironman world? Something you ever look at, or is that 26 miles at the top for you? Stick with the Ironmans and call it good.
Well, actually, I've done a bunch of ultras. Actually, nothing extreme. None of the 100-mile runs. I've done up to 40 miles, and I actually love the trail races. Actually, I train predominantly on trails, regardless of what my training. If I am doing marathons or triathlons, I love the trail races. Whole different world. Obviously, pace is completely different. But ultras are great. Great stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, let's take a quick break. Dean Karnazes is going to be on the phone with us in just a minute. Can you hang around?
Yes, definitely.
We'll talk to Dean. Yeah, we'll talk to Dean Karnazes, Ultramarathon man, in moments.
You're listening to Living the Ride on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
My name is Chris Randolph, and as a local track and field Olympic hopeful, I've been seeing Brian Quigley at SLO Wellness Center to help me with injury recovery during my season. Brian has not only helped me with some very extensive injuries, but has also educated me on the specifics of how my body moves when I compete. His knowledge and touch has helped me achieve personal bests in my competition and has also helped me in injury prevention. Becoming a wellness patient of his has helped me stop my injuries before they start, making time spent recovering shorter, leaving more time spent training for my goals. From injury prevention to wellness, Brian understands the patient and holistically helps them achieve their personal health-related goals. So check out Brian Quigley at peakperformanceslo.com and find him on Facebook and comment a response to this ad and get a complimentary 60-minute massage.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back to Living the Run here on ESPN 1280 The Ticket. Still in studio with last year's winner, Van McCarty, nursing a hamstring injury. We're praying for Van to be healthy. Want to see him out there putting up a big time. 2:38 last year, looking to defend his championship. On the line with us now, the biggest face in ultramarathon running, Cal Poly graduate, inspiration to many, author of several books now, 50-50-50, Ultramarathon Man, Run. Dean Karnazes, thanks for joining us.
Oh, I'm glad to have. Thanks for having me back on. I'm honored.
Hey, clear it up for us, Dean, right off the bat. You're not here to win the SLO Marathon, are you?
It's a SLO Marathon. Maybe if it was a fast marathon, I'd try for it. But
hey, the other big question out there seems to be is when Dean finishes at Madonna, is he going to turn around and run home to the Bay Area? Is that part of the workout this weekend?
if you'll bring me some food along the way, I'm down for that.
I think Paul's ordered a large pizza for you. He'll round table, right?
Round table's the best. Yeah, Hawaiian style is my favorite. Yeah.
Hey, Dean, what excites you most about coming back to Cal Poly? I know you're Cal Poly graduate, coming back to SLOtown to participate in this event. How'd Samantha Pruitt get you and lure you down here?
It wasn't hard. I mean, she didn't have to do much arm twisting. It unfortunately hasn't fit into my schedule the past couple of years, and I've tried as hard as I could to get there. And I'm so looking forward to it now that it all worked out. I've heard great things, and you guys have been there firsthand. You've told me great things, and so it's just great to be back. A lot of love from Cal Poly, from my old stomping grounds, and I'm just looking forward to a really, really terrific run.
It is the happiest place on earth. I mean, that's a true story, fact.
Hey, probably as a student, Dean, you probably weren't out there running the hills as much of Edna Valley and so forth. Good course, hilly course. Great training course for you, right? Because, again, you're looking at Badwater this year. You're looking to be super successful there, and your training model is all about that this year, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of back-to-back events. I've done, I think, what have I done? Two marathons the last 2 weeks, and this will be the third. And then after San Luis Obispo, it's off to Boston. Then a couple others, including Big Sur. So I love doing these marathons as training runs because, let's face it, if I went out a 26.2-mile run on my own, I might bump up the pace a little bit, but when you're in a crowd, you just get caught up in the energy and the excitement, and you end up running, a harder, a faster pace than you normally would. So it's really great training for me.
Now, Dean, when you come down here, have you been down to San Luis recently and done any of the course, or is this going to be just kind of a show up and blow up kind of thing?
Yeah, no, it's show up and blow up. I mean, it's immersion in the experience. I know a lot of the course. I mean, I just from being around San Luis Obispo for so many years, and I used to windsurf a lot out at Lake Lopez, which you guys probably know, and so I know a lot of the course, but I just wanted to see it all through fresh eyes.
Hey, you're an inspiration to so many. The 50-50-50 book and documentary that you had going into different towns, inspiring, running with others. I know you're looking to do the same thing here. There's going to be groups and different people running along with you, but I also know you got you're talking and you're inspiring as well. You got to talk on Saturday. Tell us a little bit about what the details are on that, so that people can come out and listen to you, listen to your story, and get motivated to live the run.
It's a bit of motivation, hopefully through inspiration. I'm not very good at, prescribing advice to people, so I kind of just tell my story, and, if they glean some insight from that, so be it. But I'll talk a little bit about, some of the adventures I've done, some of the preparations I go through in preparing for a marathon or a half marathon, how I go about recovering afterward. So some practical tips as well. I think that the true mark of a champion is not someone who continues to race and compete for themselves, but learns anything, takes any gift that they've got, anything they've learned along the road, and passes it along to other people, so that other people can be the best that they can be. And that's kind of my intention when I give talks.
Hey, talk about your passion there. We had the marathon goddess Julie Weiss, who was on a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you'd heard about her, but she did 52 marathons in 52 weeks trying to raise money for pancreatic cancer. What is it that Dean Karnazes is after? Who is the group or the embodiment that you are trying to support and give back to?
Well, it goes beyond running, I think. My message is just basically, indulge in life. Be the best that you can be. I mean, you don't have to be out there, cracking 3 hours even on your marathon, or even 4 hours. Just do the very best that you can do, and that lesson kind of extends beyond running into other practical life lessons. As runners, I think we've learned some valuable things along the way. I mean, we've learned that how do you achieve success? The recipe is simple: hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and commitment. And those same sort of qualities carry over into life, and I think help people be more fulfilled than just living everyday life.
Hey, Dean, thanks so much for joining us. I know your schedule's tight. Thanks for inspiring our listeners. Thanks for coming here to San Luis Obispo. It's going to be a great, great weekend, and having you here, I just have the whole energy, as you said, to be out on that course and to be doing something special, to be using running as a mode and a vehicle, to maximize our lives.
No, I look forward to it, and I look forward to all of the listeners that are out there coming out and hearing me talk, and then sharing some footsteps with you.
Awesome stuff, Dean. Thanks so much again for joining us. See you this weekend.
Okay, see you soon.
Hey, that was Dean Karnazes, ultramarathonman.com. He's got 3 different books, the Ultramarathon Man, Run, and 50-50-50. Van, when you see that, pretty incredible stuff that this guy has taken running, a passion of his, and made it a career, a life career.
Yeah, is that the greatest thing or what? Just spend your life doing what you like and then talking about it.
Yeah,
and inspiring people. He's a phenomenal motivational speaker. I saw him a couple years back at Big Sur. I'm going to throw this out there really quick because he may not be the fastest marathoner out there on Sunday, but the guy just runs forever. The Big Sur Marathon, you have to take a bus at 4 o'clock in the morning from Carmel or Monterey, and they bus you to Pfeiffer Beach down at Big Sur. So you have to take this bus at 4 in the morning to the marathon. We're on this bus. It's like 4:30 now, and we look, and he's running to the race start from Monterey. So he ran 26 miles to the race start, hung out for like an hour, turned around, and then ran the race back up to Carmel. It's like, what's the hell? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
he's just he's phenomenal.
Mentally tough, physically brilliant. His mechanics are perfect. Every step is the same. Never runs into problems mechanically. He's really got that stride down.
One of the things that he talked about there is just finding meaning in running, finding meaning in what you're doing. And I think that's really important. A lot of people kind of go out and drudge through it and don't use it as an opportunity to, sort things out in their head and really find a direction.
Yeah, and he kind of said it too, what we alluded to earlier in the show. You get around other people, and now all of a sudden the event becomes a little easier. The pace goes a little bit faster, and you don't even realize that you're working harder a lot of the times. The suffering is a little bit less. That's why I thought, Van, it's interesting to me that you said out on your own, it was actually okay, and you don't think that you would have gone a lot faster. I don't think that that's the norm out there. Don't you think that the norm is get the pack together, push one another, and eventually that pace goes up?
Well, I agree with you with running in a group. If they're going quicker, then definitely if you want to stay with them, you have to, go with it. I just think from my standpoint, from my training, that I think physically, capability-wise, I don't know if I would have ran much quicker if there was a lead pack. If there was someone who, even if someone's going to run like a 234, 235, I don't know if I could have maintained that pace all the way through. However, with people, it definitely takes your mind off things, because I know when I coming back into town on the marathon last year after being out by myself for like 19, 20 miles, then all of a sudden I was coming back through where all the half marathoners were coming into town who did the out and back section. And so then it was a matter of going through the crowds and finding the place to run. So there's all these people running, and mentally I wasn't even thinking about how much I was hurting, because now I'm just like looking at all the people around me, and there's just so much more going on. It went by so much quicker, so much easier than just looking at the road straight ahead and just seeing a motorcycle up the road a ways. So it definitely is easier mentally when you got people around you.
Yeah, no question.
No, I'm listening to this, and it's funny to hear somebody describe the last little bit of a marathon. It's a lot easier. It was mile 24. Are you really sure it was easier?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I remember listening to Dean, and again, if you missed Dean Karnazes' interview, you missed any of this interview with last year's champion Van McCarty here at SLO Marathon, check us out on livingtherun.com, Facebook/livingtherun. We'll put these podcasts up tomorrow as well as the YouTube. But I remember Dean talking about a 200-mile race from, I think it was Calistoga or something, to Santa Cruz, and he runs the last mile in sub-6. How do you run the last mile sub-6?
He was saving himself.
Yeah, right.
He warmed up.
Yeah, he warmed
the first 109.
199, I think.
199.
First 199,
and then
that
he
last
put the hammer down. He was ready to go.
He was negative split. Yep.
Yeah, negative split. He was storing up that energy.
Yep.
Well, Van, super great to have you in studio. Our expectation is that a miracle is going to happen. That hamstring,
what we're hoping for.
Yeah, that hamstring is going to be in good. Use the Spider Tech tape.
Definitely.
There'll probably be a bunch of it out there. Right. Don't try to put it on yourself, and we'll try to get that hamstring healthy. But good luck defending your championship.
Thank you.
And
always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, look forward to tuning in with you and finding out about how it went.
Sounds great.
Yeah, thanks, Van. Well, Paul, tips and takeaways here on the show. We just over a minute left. What did we learn today?
I'm going to go with the one I've already used. Finding meaning. If you're out running, use it as an opportunity to find meaning in what you're doing. Don't just go out and drudge through it and use it as a sentence. Do some soul searching, do some thinking, really kind of figure it out. Yeah,
no question. I'd say, find somebody to help you do that. I think that there's motivation in other people. There's energy in other people. It's obvious. Dean said it. Van has said it. We've all know it, that when we can get out with other people that can motivate us a little bit, it'll take us that next level. And again, it'll help us in those workouts when we don't have somebody else. Just knowing to get that energy through a good workout, knowing what we've done in the past to propel us forward. Well, exciting stuff. SLO Community, our last shout out to you guys. Come out for this SLO Marathon. Come out and support. Get downtown. Get on Johnson. Get out on Tank Farm. Get out on Orchid. Support these runners. Give a high five. Give a smile. Give a clap. Give some energy to these folks, because it goes a long, long way in distracting from the suffering. So we'll check in with the winners next week here on Living the Run. CJ Silas show next, and then the SLO Late Show making his debut 10 o'clock here on ESPN 1280 The Ticket.